Welcome back to part 11 of the MGB electric Resto-mod conversion. This episode I'm going to cover the battery box construction. A few things I want to say about it. When I first started on these, I thought, 2 to 3 weeks to construct these boxes. But, well, I've got over 5 weeks into these guys now, and I'm still at maybe 95%. Part of it is I just don't work as fast as I used to, but, still, I've got around 60 hours into these boxes. I guess I know now why, if you look up online, some of these kits that people sell or other people sell, battery boxes are so expensive. They're very time-consuming to build. By the time you make the styrofoam mock-up, then purchase all the material, cut everything, put it together. It's a lot of work. The material on these boxes that I built, I've got probably $450, maybe $500. If you get one from somebody else already pre-made, you're going to spend thousands of dollars. I see why now. They're very labor intensive to build. Anyway, let's get to the episode. I'll show you what I've been up to for the last 5 weeks. Thanks for watching. I've been working on the front battery box. What I did is I constructed the lower part of the box. I'll show you here. It's actually a two-piece. There's an upper and a lower. Get some light here. This is the basic framework for the lower battery box. There'll be 6 batteries in there, 3 on each level. It actually fits quite nicely. It's tight fit, but everything clears. What I'm going to do now is make some mounts for the front and back. The rear, I'm going to put a single mount behind in the back and attach it to the bolt holes where the transmission cross member went. I'm not going to use the original one. I'll have to make a new one. But anyway, that's kind of how it fits, and I'll show you more of this later. This is the upper box. It's not bolted in yet. I still have to make a mount here in the corner and another mount over here to help support the weight on the front. This is the upper box framework for the front. I'm not going to paint these yet until after I get all the holes drilled and tapped. Then I'll go ahead and paint these. These are all of the panels that I made for covering this upper box. These are the 2 side panels. But like I said, I'll be drilling and tapping a bunch of holes. I got a lot of work involved here to complete these. To give you a comparison of the weights, when I was taking the car apart, I pulled the engine and transmission out. I came in at 470 pounds for the stock engine and transmission, and that was with everything on it: the carburetors, the exhaust manifold, the starter, the generator, and air filters were on it. The transmission was bolted to it, and total it was 470 pounds. These batteries here, for example, the front batteries, there's 18 batteries. They're actually under 20 pounds, but let's call it 20. 18 times that is 360 pounds. This metal framework, I wanted this to be really strong, so I used this metal framework instead of building everything out of aluminum. I wanted something to be strong to contain these batteries. Both of these frameworks bolted together weigh right at 45 pounds. So if you went 360 plus the 45, we're at not 410, we're at 405 pounds on the front batteries, which is 65 pounds lighter than the stock engine and transmission. On top of that, the radiator is not there anymore. That was 18 pounds. The complete exhaust system from the front to back was over 24 pounds. The bumpers were 25 pounds, the front and rear bumpers with all the brackets and everything. So we're going to have a lot less weight on the front of this car than we had before. The rear batteries, there's 8 of them, 20 pounds each, so we're adding about 160 pounds to the back. But there is no spare tire in the back, there's no fuel tank, so it'll be slightly heavier, I believe, in the back on the rear wheels, but I'm real curious to see what the weight distribution is going to be when this is done, because if you look back, originally I was at 56% in the front, 57-43 was from front to rear before. So this should be a lot better now with the electric drivetrain in the car. So my next step here is to, I'm going to pull all these batteries out. I'll be getting the aluminum panels or made for the sides and bottom and everything to finish these off. These boxes were a lot of work. I mean, that's, I said 2.5, 3 weeks. It's probably a little bit more than that into these. There was a lot of cutting, welding, fitting, and trying to keep everything square and accurate. But everything fits real nice in the car. I'm going to get these batteries out and get going on the aluminum now. Well, I've finished making all of the aluminum panels that go on the battery box in the front. All the holes are done. I still have a little bit of just finished work to do around the edges of these panels, but I wanted to kind of show you what the box is going to look like, or what it does look like. As you can see, this kind of, the firewall is right in this area here, and this is kind of where the transmission used to go back into the transmission tunnel. So I know it looks quite large and tall here, but it's kind of similar in size to what the engine and transmission was. But here's the upper box, the lower box. Everything's all drilled, tapped, all the pieces are made. I'm not sure how I'm going to secure this. This is kind of the access panel for the front. There'll be a shelf in here once the batteries are in where the BMS modules will be. This is the hole that goes down to the lower portion of the battery box, which is going to be left open for two reasons. One, all the cabling and things can go through this. The other is these batteries are air cooled, they're not water cooled, so I will probably be making some vent holes up here in the front on either side of the front up here. This will be left open, and I'll be installing, there's a void area in this section right here. I'm going to put an electric fan down in here. So what it'll do, it'll suck air in from up here in the front around the batteries and back out for ventilation to help with cooling. I don't really know if this is needed or not, but we'll see. I'm going to put it in there, install it, so it's in there. If it's not needed, I guess I don't need to use it, but I'd like to have something in there for just in case the batteries do get hot. Anyway, that's it. What I'm doing now is I'm laying out the lines around here. I'm going to do some bead rolling on these panels. As you can see, they kind of, well, they aren't all screwed down yet, but I want to put some bead rolling on here to give them some strength and also make them look better. Before I install the battery boxes into the car, once they're all wired and everything, I'll go ahead and screw these panels back on. I'll probably run some silicone gasket material around between the framework and these panels just to help seal everything off. I still have to paint this, and there's still a lot of little things I need to do. But anyway, that's where I'm at now, and I'm going to start laying out this bead rolling and get the bead roller out. I have all the aluminum panels cut out and drilled, ready to mount. What I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and do some bead rolling. What I'm doing is I'm marking the panels with a permanent marker. And this will just wipe right off with lacquer thinner when it's done. So what's kind of nice about these markers that I can mark right on the aluminum. I've already done. Well, I got a bunch of the bead rolling done, or almost all of it. These two panels here go on the back equipment box in the back of the car. I'll put those on in a little bit. And this other piece here is the bottom of the front battery box. I'm not going to put that on until I actually get that set in the car. I didn't want to get it all banged up and everything. And it can go on easily once it's in the car. I've somewhat cleaned up all the panels. I don't have them totally screwed on, but I have them all in place, ready to go on. Yeah, well, that's what they look like. I'm still working on the top of the front box. I still need to do some bead rolling on this piece up here. That's the piano hinge I put on here. I think I'm going to use that here. I wasn't going to use it on the rear battery box, but I decided not to. There's an aluminum angle brace underneath there to help firm this up, so it's pretty solid. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the front here. I want to have some type of MG emblem, either painted or lasered on or something on this front panel. So I'll be working on that today. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and actually get these out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and fit them into the car, see what they look like. Yeah, they came out real nice. I'm real happy with these. Well, let's get them in the car and show you what it looks like. I've temporarily bolted the panels on. This is the rear equipment box. I don't have all the screws in, I just put some on there to hold it. But everything fits really good, looks really nice. Yeah, that came out real nice. I got all the bead rolling done on this part. Now let's go to the front. This is the rear mount, the new rear mount, and that's the Those aren't motor mounts, they're actually transmission mounts for MGB. I'm using 5 of them. There's one here on the back of the lower box. And then there's another one on each side here. There's one there, and then one up there. Anyway, it fits quite nice. I put some additional bead rolling on the bottom panel just to dress it up a little more, but everything looks cool there. Everything fits. This is the bottom of the top, the upper box, the top box. You can see a couple bolt holes there. I don't have the bolts in there yet, it's just sitting on there. There's 2 there, and then there's, I don't know if you can see them, there's one on each side up there that will bolt it together. So the bottom box actually supports the weight of the upper box, and then there's two mounts in the, well, you can't see, there you go. There's a mount on each side here in the front of the upper box. But anyway, that's it. It's looking pretty good. I haven't cut the opening out yet, but this marking up here, that's where the fan's going to be. I haven't installed it yet. I'm not sure how I want to install that. I think I need to put some type of a cover over it so the air will vent down. That way, if any water or anything comes up from the cowl area, it won't get down into the battery box. So I think I'm going to have to cover that. Actually, that small hole up there is where I believe there's a rubber drain tube for the air vent up on the cowl. That tube right above the light here, that hole, the tube will come right down where my light is and drain up where the cowl vent is. So I'll have to keep that away from this vent. Anyway, that's the way it looks.